Welcome back, everybody. Let's keep those prayers for reasonable rainfall and cloud cover going. It seems to be working. Today's the day after the fish rescue, and I'm about to hit the trails again at Cathedral Rock. And we're going to be basically taking on a gentle walk, hoping to complete 3 miles. So let's get started and let's see what we see. Today I want to give you 10 tips about how I recovered my health. First tip being enjoy the day and what it brings your way. So what do I mean by enjoy the day and whatever it brings your way? Well, let's say that you routinely have to deal with some circumstance that you find less than invigorating. Like, for an example, not long ago, if you watch this channel regularly, you'll see that I spoke with my father, and that circumstance I always find to be pretty challenging, because for whatever reason it seems to turn into an argumentative conversation.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Ray. I never said that. I must have been when I dreamed or something.
You're hurting my feelings.
I'm not hurting your feelings.
So what I had to do was set some boundaries, and to set those boundaries I had to at least speak with my words to bring to light what my boundaries were. And so if you have to deal with someone who's combative, well, maybe set some boundaries. Maybe set yourself up for success. That way you can enjoy your day. Now, not every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's going to be overcast, cloudy, raining, cold, snowy, icy, and otherwise devoid of opportunity to quickly and readily find joy. But the fact that we woke up is something to enjoy and to use to its fullest. So that's what I mean by enjoy the day and whatever is brought your way. You don't have to keep putting yourself in a circumstance where you're taking care of someone who's not going to appreciate what it is that you're doing for them. My second tip for restoring health and wholesomeness is to take account for yourself. Keep in mind that everything you're doing, including possibly sitting down and watching this video, are things that you're choosing to do. Now, if you're doing these things passively, like let's say this is playing in the background and you're not even listening to what's being said, then you're not really doing this. You're doing something else. Much in the same way that I'm walking and making this video, we can multitask, but if we prioritize certain things above and beyond other things, sometimes we will not accomplish what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So prioritizing ourselves when we're trying to regain our health is absolutely imperative. And these are things that we can achieve by focusing on whatever it is we're trying to achieve. Like yesterday or the other day, I passed under these mesquite beans, and I showed those to you because I like to immerse myself in wildlife and nature. And because I like that, I try to share that experience with you. And so I'm prioritizing myself in accomplishing these things that are multifaceted, but I'm not doing it in a way that's disregarding the overall objective. My objective is to restore my health to where I can carry on a conversation when I'm quote unquote running in zone 2. So it might be helpful if I can even do that same thing when I'm simply walking at a reasonable pace. Can you carry on a conversation while you're walking? Or are you winded like I have been in the past? Pay attention over the next few months to whether or not I'm in the same condition after taking on these tasks as an action of intent whose outcome is likely to be successful as long as I put in the time and effort and prioritize what it is that I'm trying to achieve myself. My third tip is to share where those investments will pay off. If you can see a pattern, like as an example, I used to share a lot of gifts with my dad. He ended up burning down his house and all the things in it. And I feel like I'm singling out my dad, but it's the closest example of what I can give to you. And for those who are close, who are watching this channel, you know, I'm not making this stuff up. And since I'm telling you these examples from real life, maybe they might be meaningful to you, because you might also have some situations where you've been watering the wrong plants. It's not healthy to continue to pour your heart into something that's not going to grow. So if you have a relative you've been caring for and they're really not caring for themselves, maybe it's an unhealthy circumstance to continue to try and bless those who wouldn't really do anything with those blessings anyways. When it comes down to it, the whole thing comes down to energy. If you don't have the energy to achieve things, you're not going to achieve things. So protect your energy. And so the first few tips I was talking about had a lot to do with that. What are you going to do with that energy? Invest it into things that are rewarding and that multiply your results. A lot of people have a lot of appointments with doctors, maybe in meetings and so forth. A lot of those meetings could be expedited if we had working meetings where we were actually doing things to achieve something. Same with our health. Going to a doctor's appointment, that's great. Why not do wall squats or other exercise while you're in the building? Have you ever spent time with someone who constantly receives notifications on their device? Like maybe they even come over to visit and the device just keeps chiming, or you go to lunch with them, their device just keeps chiming. Maybe you live with these people and even on vacation, the device keeps chiming at all hours, whether you're awake or asleep. And then the individuals might complain that they were awakened by some notification that was irrelevant or unnecessary anyway. If you've ever spent time with someone like that, you know they're not doing a good job of protecting their personal time. So I wanted to use this particular set of examples to talk about prioritizing sleep. And you might want to, if you haven't already, might want to consider turning your devices off, and for sure not keeping them in the bedroom, or vice versa. If you keep your device in the bedroom, let's say it's your alarm clock, for sure turn off the phone Wi-Fi aspect so you're not receiving errant notifications throughout the time frame when you're supposed to be recharging. Sleep is kind of an exponential thing where if you don't sleep for long enough, you may not enter your deep sleep stages, including REM and so forth, where your body battery can get recharged. So if your body battery can't get recharged, you're gonna wake up feeling a little bit deficient. I was about to show you some cardinals on the trail up ahead, but they flew off. And if you feel deficient, you're not gonna be able to achieve many of the first things that we already talked about earlier in this video. Do you agree that sleep is important? If you do, be sure to click on the thumbs up. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to learn more tips like this, I'm not done yet, but I just want to suggest that right now so that you don't forget. See all the bugs? Fresh from the rain, fresh from the reasonable rain. How cool is that? So today I want to go 3 miles just like the other days. This time I didn't take the little water routes. Maybe I should have. The further I get into this, the worse it gets. In addition to the outburst of the non-biting insects, there are a lot of parasites, a lot of mosquitoes. So I've got to be careful. So another tip is to pick up the pace when necessary. When I get into those infested areas, I might have to go a little quicker than I was planning. But so far I've only gotten into zone 2, which is what I was planning to do, max, for this whole walk. So the next step is to set goals, set achievable goals. Now I know I can walk 3 miles, even though at a higher pace, higher rate of speed, it causes me a little bit of discomfort, but it's easily doable and on a regular basis so that I can do this pretty much daily without blistering my feet, without having an exorbitant recovery time, without any recovery time actually. And that's an achievable goal. So I've already gone over 2 miles. I'm on my return route right now. I'm looking forward to getting dry again. As you can tell, I'm sweating quite a bit. It's humid, it's been drizzling. I've had to pick up the pace, and I'm trying to multitask and create this content that helps you become motivated to do something to restore and recover your own health as well. Almost got bled again by another parasite. Should go without saying, but one of the other tips I want to provide is to pay attention to the life around you. There are a lot of people that come through this particular trail system on bikes, running, and so forth. That little snake that I just showed was a different snake from the other day. Though it was in a similar area, and it's just an unnecessary loss. Maybe because it was unsuspectingly small, people didn't notice it, but I noticed it, and there are other people that'll notice it too. And of course it becomes part of the ecosystem again, but it was life. A lot of us, in the efforts to achieve our ideals, are taking way too much life, even without realizing it. So pay attention to the life around you. Try to nourish it. because as above, so below. As we nourish other things, we nourish ourselves. Hope that makes sense.
Thank you for choosing to visit my channel. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.